right, Lions fans, let's talk another one real quick. We're in the middle of the Colts versus the Lions game, and I believe the Lions is down a touchdown. I believe the score is 35 14, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. But with that being said, I am doing my evaluation. I can care less about the game per se. Even if they were winning, I can care less. I just do my critiquing of the individuals and not from an X's and O's standpoint, but more so the psychological difference type deal or indifference. But right now, I'm going to talk about Matthew Stafford, and we may get into Patricia. But right now, I am going to talk about Matthew Stafford. I never consider him elite. I made a comment on a podcast that Matthew Stafford would be elite if he's the same guy that approaches the game in a 2 minute drive. Why I bring that up is because Matthew Stafford, I believe I figured it out. Matthew Stafford is not elite because he's a moody type of guy. If it's going his way, he's locked in. If he have to do it, he's locked in. If it's pressure ball, where it's like, okay, take the center stage, Stafford, lead us to the promised land, he's not that guy. It's like he remind me of myself, where when you're spoiled or you're comfortable, you're kind of complacent. You don't have to. You don't really find the niche of motivation. Besides, sometimes when you have the adrenaline going, like I give you an example. Back in grade school, to get me to go to school, sometimes it would have to be like a I don't know. It had to be like a some kind of exterior motivation. Was I good in school? I was good in school. I just didn't want to go, you know, because there was something that happened to me that made me didn't want to go, bullied and so forth, all that good stuff. But to make my point, if you were to give me a brand new outfit that I thought was like the best outfit ever, regardless if anybody had it or not, I'm going to school and I'm probably the first one there. Matthew Stafford is that type of guy. If you give me what I want to get me motivated, not saying he's going to go to the owners when I say you got to give me what I want. He's saying if you guys give me what I want without me saying it, I'm motivated to go. When Galladay goes out, Calvin Johnson goes out, he's a different guy. Now he then there's times that he do show up in a way when it's like I want to say it's his considered his fault. So he feels like it's obligated that he has to redeem himself. Or here's another situation where the situation where he's most comfortable at, where he's considered and where he's confident at. That's when there's no pressure on him. Okay, let's say for example, the comebacks. There's not really a lot of pressure. It's considered pressure because it's a comeback. You're down a score and you got so much amount of time. You got the timeouts and so forth. But that's where he's comfortable at the most. That's where he's confident at. He's like a closer. My job is just to do that. I'm good. Now you ask me to lead a team. You ask me to be the focus of the team. You ask me to do all these different things. I think that's out of his element. Some guys are built to lead. Some guys are just good at what they do. I asked the podcast a question. If Matthew Stafford is an elite quarterback, tell me what is he? Give me one thing that he is considered elite about. What is the one thing that he's considered elite about? He had what I normally would get, or the response that I would get is that he can make all the throws. He's a good quarterback. He has some mobility. If you can get a run game, if you get a tight end, if you get off the line. No. I'm talking about what is he good at? What is he great at? What would you say if he's an elite quarterback? What makes him an elite quarterback? What is he great at? Game in, game out, practice in, practice out, film room, film out, walk through everything. What is he great at? And I haven't found one response that will make him elite. The responses that I get makes him an average quarterback, a typical type of quarterback, but not elite. When you look at the Tom Brady's and everything else, what makes Tom Brady so good is that he's so cerebral. That's what makes Peyton Manning so good, so cerebral. They got talent, arm talent, yeah. Majority of the quarterbacks have arm talent. Some a little bit more different than the next. Some could throw sidearms, some could throw straight, some could throw accurate, so whatever. That's pretty much a difference of one quarterback from the next. But what separates the elite from the average is the cerebral. What can you see? What do you see? Do you see the play before it actually evolves? And so much so that you could put a defender in a place that only your offensive player can receive the ball. It's a that's what separates the elite from the average. Matthew Stafford, in my opinion, is an average quarterback. Can you win with an average quarterback? Yeah, you have your Joe Flacco's, you have your Jim McMahon's, you have your who can I'm sure there's pretty much the guy from Tampa Bay. I think it was Johnson. I think who it was. I'm not sure. Was it Gus Farad? I don't know who it was. But you can win, but you got to cover up what he doesn't do well. What Stafford doesn't do well is be a leader. So that means you're gonna have to get you a Ray Lewis type of guy. You're gonna have to get you a leader. Maybe not talent wise Ray Lewis, but you're gonna have to get you a bona fide. You have to get you a Ben Wallace guy. A guy that's gonna come to work every game, game in, game out, and he every whatever the bar that he set before, he will succeed that bar. He keep moving. You need that guy for Stafford, whatever. I don't think Stafford ever had that guy, even in Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson was a guy that was just like a LeBron James, a freak of talent. I don't know if he ever got better, like leaps and bounds better than he was before. Maybe he have got more catches or got more yards, but I don't think he ever got more better, like in route running or this or that, or where he was a technician. There's a reason why Kobe Bryant is Kobe Bryant. There's a reason why LeBron James is LeBron James. If I had to pick between the two, I would pick Kobe Bryant because he's a technician. He constantly works at his craft. LeBron James is a guy who works at his craft, but he don't have to work out on it as much. He's just a freak of nature, if I may say that in the most hopefully not disrespectful way. But with that being said, I that's my view of why Stafford is not an elite quarterback. He's not a leader per se. He's a guy who's situational. He would be great for a closer. So for a guy like for a team that's already on the cusp, knock on the door, he's perfect for it because he don't have to be a leader. The team is already ready to go. All you have to do is just be a closer. If they already knocking on the door, such as like, give me a team that's ready to roll. Say that hypothetically, if he was on the Chiefs, then they already built the way they built. He could just knock on the door. I mean, he just the guy he's a closer, like in baseball. He can close out the game or close out the season for you. I don't see him as an elite quarterback. He's an average guy. You can win with the average guy. The guy that won in Philadelphia years back, I believe was it Foles? He's an average quarterback. There's a lot of average quarterbacks. The rare ones are the ones who win year in and year out because they can see things that they could put the defender or the defense in a place where only their offense can succeed. Stafford has never been that guy. He is hot. Like if the ball is coming out hot, and if you already know if that team has a scouting report of their lineman or defensive lineman is really stout and they really can get after the quarterback, he's already in his head counting seconds. Now, would he take a pounding? Yeah, he's that type of guy. He's ice in his vein. I take a beating for the team. He's the guy that will pick up if you're going on a double date and the blind date is not so up to par or maybe up to the standards of to his liking. He'd check it up for the team. That's why I believe like the Fords love him. I think like other people would say they love to have him in their part of the organization. He's not a troublemaker, you know, but can you, for the Lions team, can you overachieve with him? No, you cannot. They need him to be something more than what he is. That's another gear that I don't know if Stafford has to be. So with that being said, Lions fan, I salute.